Pip the Otter stood motionless on the edge of the legendary Jelly Coast. His small paws sank slightly into the sugary sand as he stared intently at the horizon. Far out, the ocean was not blue, but a deep, shimmering violet. A massive wave of grape jelly began to surge toward the shore, vibrating with a rhythmic hum. He gripped his flat, polished piece of driftwood, feeling the smooth grain against his fur. The air smelled of sweet fruit and salt, a heavy scent that signaled the arrival of the great tide. As the purple wall loomed closer, Pip didn't hesitate. He sprinted toward the incoming tide, his heart drumming in sync with the vibrating jelly. The water's edge was thick and viscous, pulling at his legs, but he pushed through. The wave began to curl, forming a translucent purple tunnel that glowed with an inner light. Pip paddled with all his might, his muscles straining against the heavy liquid. With a sudden burst of energy, he popped up on his board. He shifted his weight, finding the sweet spot on the driftwood. He was inside now, carving through a gelatinous wall that felt like liquid velvet. Pip leaned hard into the turn, his tail acting as a rudder in the thick grape sea. Every movement had to be deliberate. The jelly was unforgiving and slow to react. He watched the light play through the ceiling, seeing bubbles of trapped air like pearls. "Stay steady," he whispered to himself, feeling the immense power of the ocean. The hum of the wave grew louder, a deep bass note that shook the very board. Suddenly, the path ahead was blocked. A giant, floating marshmallow drifted into his line. Pip's eyes widened. He crouched low, his belly nearly touching the wood. With a sharp flick of his tail, he steered the board, skimming beneath the marshmallow. The wave grew steeper, turning into a chaotic swirl of fruit-scented foam. Pip felt the board lose traction as the jelly began to rapidly solidify. It was turning into a trap. He felt his back paw get stuck in a thickening patch. "Not today," he grunted. He stomped his heel down with a sharp crack, snapping the board free just as the wave reached its breaking point. With a final surge, he launched himself off the lip of the collapsing purple giant. He soared through the air before landing gracefully on the sandy beach. The momentum sent him sliding 20 feet across the wet, sugary sand. Pip stood up and shook his fur, sending droplets of grape juice flying. He licked a glob of jelly off his whisker and looked back at the horizon.